watchers, I welcome another film review tonight, and tonight I want to review The Thing, and I might review the other one, so if I review the other one I'll put both of them together. If not, anyway, so it'll be probably a double review, but who knows. Anyway, so I'm going to review the first Thing film tonight, and what a great movie it was. I've seen it quite a few times now, but still one of those movies that still I find quite gripping. So anyway, directed by John Carpenter, released in 1982, stars, who's all the actors in this film? Starring Kurt Russell, now, of course, he's the main guy in this. Snake Plissken. Okay, so it was a budget of 15 million. It made 19.6 million North America. It made a bit back there, so I thought the film was a flop because of it. It was 1982, the same time they released E.T. Steven Spielberg. Antarctica, a Norwegian helicopter pursues a sledge dog to an American research station. The Americans witness Norwegian passenger accidentally blow up the helicopter himself. The pilot shoots at the dog and shoots at the Americans, but they cannot understand it, and he is shot dead in self-defense by Station Commander Gary Anderson. Gary, the American helicopter pilot, R.J. McReady, and Dr. Copper leaves to investigate the Norwegian base. Among the charred rooms and frozen corpses, they find the burned remains of a malformed humanoid, which they recover to the American station. Their biologist Bully performs an autopsy on the remains and finds a normal set of human organs. So anyway, I won't read the whole lot. It's actually a bit to read. Actually, I don't feel that'll take all night. So anyway, this film stars Kurt Russell. Of course, this is a 1982 film that it didn't get the best ratings at the beginning because it wasn't really well loved at the beginning. I don't think by critics and stuff. But the film is so well done, you just can't help but just think how well done this film was. Practical effects and effects that they used in the, So anyway, at the beginning of the film, these Norwegian people in this helicopter chasing after this dog, of course. Because one of them gets shot, the helicopter explodes, and I just explained. Of course, they bring the dog in, of course, but then there's something really strange about the dog, the way the dog acts when you watch the film, because it just stares. And the dog is great, by the way. It's really good, and it's goddamn eerie at the same time. It's so eerie, the film is, the way the dog acts and stuff. Now, there's a scene in this film where you don't know who it is, but I reckon I know who it was, where the dog kind of like goes into this guy's room, one of the characters' room. All you see is the shadow of the character. Then he just kind of like looks at them, and I think he got infected there by the dog. I like the fact there's so much paranoia in this movie. Who do you trust? Who do you trust in this movie? Even I've watched it so many times, and I still go, I still get a little bit, oh god, creepy ass mover. Because this thing can look like anyone. It can completely look human or dog or any life form. Dog, whatever, human, and it can look exactly like them, that thing, so you wouldn't even know the difference. The only way you can know the difference is a test, like a blood test. And of course, one of the alien sabotages the blood things, so they can't do a test on who's human and who's not, of course. But then they find another way to do it by tying the people into the chair, which is a cool scene. I like the scene where they tie some of the characters into the chair, and they usually like heat this freaking thing up, and then heat the blood up to freaking find out who the. Now that scene was really well done. That scene, the only thing I don't like is when they cut the finger, because all you hear is and the blood just coming out like that. It's nasty, It's really nasty. I do that every time I watch it. I do that every time. Yeah. So anyway, that scene just does my head in. I find that really uncomfortable to watch. So anyway, they have to find out who is human and who is not, and you don't know. The only way you can know is a test on the blood. And I like the way certain parts are set up to it, because you think to yourself, wonder who the alien is, because you don't know who it is. It could be anyone in the movie. Now I like the fact that one of the aliens somehow sets one of the characters up by leaving his like clothes outside. One of the characters to find. And you think to yourself, wonder if he's infected by this thing. But it's kind of like this alien is playing games at the same time, you know. So yeah, you wonder who the hell the alien is. And it's really well done because it puts you in this situation where you're just paranoid all the time. And I like the fact that when they go to the station, the Norwegian station, they find like a dead body. They find like body's there, like a body there, then they bring it back and do it. And I'm thinking to myself, are you crazy? Don't bring that body back to the base. Just leave it. Anyway, they're not bringing the body back to the base, and it's just and that is such a stupid idea to do that. And then I find other stuff like videotapes and stuff. Them finding the ship, and then they end up going back to where the ship is. And it's a massive shit to find. And you watch the prequel, it does actually explain that a little bit. Actually, the prequel was pretty good actually, I enjoyed that one. It's not as good as the original one, but I heard that John Carpenter could be thinking about making a sequel, which I really hope he does actually. Yeah, it's one of those movies that it's still a well-made movie that didn't do the best at the box office, but it's like a cult classic, it's a brilliant movie. It's actually it's like a horror favourite now compared to years ago, and now it's just a great movie. I can't work out why it got like bad reviews. I really don't. I'm like, okay, really well acted. The storylines, the setup is good, and the payoff is great too. So, and the performances are solid as heck when you watch it, because you think to yourself, who the hell's the alien? And the performances are great. And Kurt Russell's great in this part. It's just great. It's just good to watch. Characters get more paranoid. There's a character called Blair. He seems alright at first, and he gets like locked up because he goes a bit nuts upstairs. And of course, there's a bit of a twist about his character, of course, later on in the film. Of course, there is some great moments in this movie. I just think the practical effects are amazing, especially one character where he tries to resuscitate one character by there's one character who has a heart attack, and he kind of like. And this scene actually still looks great now when you watch it. You think, God damn, it still gets to you. Where it does though. When you watch it, you think, you know what's going to happen, but when it happens, you think, still gets to you. It's freaking where he tries to freak because the guy's like it looks like he has a heart attack, but then there's a bit of twist. What happens? Turns out he's not having a heart attack, exactly. And of course, it's like I can see what John Carpenter did there. He's like, you don't expect him to be the freaking, alien, but then he just like pulls it out his sleeve and just goes, you know what, I'm going to shock the audience right now by saying, you know what, this is going to surprise a lot of people, and it's a great scene, it really is. It's a movie that I still freaking love. It's a great movie. The Thing is such a solid movie. So if I have some of the best horror movies ever made, that would be our top 10. Even top 5, I'd say. Brilliant, fantastic movie. Of course, now they have to find out who. Like I said, they have to find out who the. Of course, they can't let this thing leave the freaking station, because this thing wants to freeze so it can get found again, and then get. Of course, this thing, if this thing gets off the station and starts affecting everyone, it starts creating more like aliens and stuff like that, and these things, and the way the part with the dogs is pretty. Still makes my skin crawl a bit, because. That scene is so well done, where the dog kind of goes and they take the dog into the where the other dogs are, right, and the dog, and then it starts to transform, and that scene was freaking. Sound effects, the way these things come out of it, like these freaking tentacles and waving around like that. It's just freaking. Then it's just a creepy ass moment. It really is still a creepy ass moment in that movie, and they have to set fire to it, of course. I don't envy anyone to actually touch that thing. I remember once watching YouTube how certain characters could have been infected, and I suppose there's a character called Blur, of course. He does like autopsies on this thing, and he touches the thing with his mouth because he touches that. I don't know, would just touch that with it and then touch whatever. So they could have been infected by that way, by touching it with his mouth. Yeah, great character. The film's got some great characters, especially when Kurt Russell shoots one in the head and he thinks, oh, I wonder if he was one. It turns out he's not, he actually killed someone in the movie. So Kurt Russell does go on beast mode on this. He does go on beast mode. He's literally like, he doesn't trust anyone. That's what makes his character so good, because he kills someone at the same time. he just says, you know what, I don't trust anyone. But at the same time, he's trying to find out who this monster is, of course. But who's the alien and who's not? There's one character in the movie that you want to back up. Then to back you up is Kurt Russell in the Knight Rider. And the ending part was pretty interesting because you think to yourself, because it does make you think this. Was the other guy, Charles, infected? I wonder. Do I think he was infected? I don't know. It's a possibility. There's a good chance he was infected because he did go off on his own. And I think he could have found him later on, infected him somehow, or whatever, or one of the other aliens, whatever. He could have got infected any time in the movie. Yeah, it's a scary thought there. This thing is freaking freaky and it's pissed too. I did like the scene where they found the ship there. That was pretty cool. They found the ship and it's massive. And of course, yeah, they found the Norwegians. Anyway, so yeah, the film is so well done, and I still actually think what a freaking great movie, great practical effects and stuff. So okay, so what I disliked about it, nothing. I can't think of anything. It's just right. It's 1 hour 28 minutes. No, it's 1 hour 48 minutes. So it's just right. The film. It's just, but I can't think of anything I disliked about the movie. It's so well done, so well acted, and it's just a great movie. Okay, what I want to get down to it. What I liked about it: great performances, great characters, great practical effects, great payoff, and great tension in the movie because it builds onto that tension. Who do you trust and who do you don't? Because at first everything's just fine. But then when they find out this thing can look like anyone, that's when they kind of think, you know what? Yeah, we shouldn't have brought this thing on board. If we shouldn't have brought this thing to this camp because this thing is evil. It wants to affect people, and it's freaker. And I like the part where they're doing the test and they're all like tied up and they're like, literally tension because they're like, because they got like the flamethrowers on. They think to themselves, if you're an alien, you're fucked. You're screwed. So, and that scene was pretty good scene. That was. It's still kind of a creepy ass scene because one of the characters. I like the fact that you find out one of the characters is infected and he starts freaking, shaking and stuff like that, and it's like, fuck. And there's and another thing I like about this one, the sense of humour it's got. Not like a lot of sense of humour, but when it does, it's funny. When the guy goes, get me off this effing chair line, is like in the chair and he's like, Jesus Christ. It's just a fun. It's got some funny moments in there. Not a lot of funny moments. It's got some small funny moments. Like John Carpenter, it's just a great movie. It's a fantastic movie. So what I liked about it, the characters, the story, the practical effects, and the good payoff in the movie. So, and the music, oh my god, the music's fantastic. The dum dum, dum dum. It's like it's just awesome. This is what they're up against. This. That's what makes it even worse. The fact this thing can infect you, and then when it does, you're screwed. So yeah, the rate I want to give this film. This film's going to get a 5 out of 5. It's just a great movie. 5 out of 5 for The Thing. Right, my second review is The Thing 2011. The Thing 2011. It comes with this box set, of course. Now this film is a prequel to The Thing of 1982. It came out 11 years ago now. Directed by Matthijs van Hegningen. Starring Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Joe Edgerton, Adele Will, I can't pronounce that name, Ulrich Thompson, Eric Christian Olsen, Tron Epson Seam, and someone else. So anyway, the film was released in 2011, October the 103 minutes. Language English and Norwegian. Budget of 38 million. It's a shame. It made like box office of 31.5 million, so it flopped. It's a shame to us. I watched this. It's actually not a bad prequel. It's not a bad movie. I think they had a lot of problems with this film. In the winter of 1982, an alien spacecraft nearby alien body are discovered buried in an Atlantic ice by members of the Norwegian research station FLAWED. American paleologist Kate Lord is recruited by Dr. Stanley Holverton and assistant Adam Finch to investigate. They fly to for in a helicopter with pilots Sam Carter and Derek Johnson and crew member Griggs. They meet Station Chief Edward Warman, Juliet, Carl, Jonas, Henrik, Colin, Pedder, Lars and Lars Doug. The body is evacuated in a block of ice. Jameson along sees the alien burst from the ice block. Search for the alien. The team finds Lars Dogs dead. The alien drags Henrik into itself, splashing blood on Olaf. The group kills the alien with a flamethrower, and autopsy finds out the alien cells were copying Henrik's. Olaf falls ill. So, anyway, so this film is a 2011 film that takes place just before the original 1982 John Carpenter classic. It's a great movie, by the way. Now this film didn't get the best finger because of the CGI they used. They use CGI instead of practical effects. And to be honest, I watched it again tonight. You know, some of it's not that bad. Some of the CGI now. I've sitting there going, you know, the part where it drags that guy into its body. That scene was quite creepy. It does have some genuine creepy ass moments that even else made me jump a few times. I like the beginning of the film where these people in this these snow vehicles and they drop down. They actually drop down into this this hole. It's like this big figure that goes all the way down. They end up finding this ship down there, and it's a massive drop. It's a massive drop. It's quite a scary moment because I'm sitting there going, that thing can just drop onto where, because you can't see what's at the bottom. It's all dark until afterwards where you actually can see the ship and stuff, and it's quite eerie, that scene is, because I'm just like, Jesus Christ, that is a long drop. You know, that's scary. I find that quite terrifying, where it's just nothing at the bottom, just dark. That's scary, dropping down. I think that's worse than actually seeing what's down there. I think because you just don't know what's down there. It's just black space. So anyway, they end up finding the ship, of course, and there's like Americans in this film. There's this Americans in this film. They end up going to this Kate Lord is recruited to go to this there's other people to go to this she gets taken to she accepts to go to the thing because they find Kate Lord is the main character in this film. She plays American in it, of course, so not all the characters are Norwegian in this. I mean, that's what I wasn't really complaining about. She accepts to go to Antarctica, of course, that's a bad idea. And then they end up going and they end up finding the alien in the ice. They end up finding the ship and the alien. The thing about this film that bugs me though is the fact that they don't show the scene where they actually blow the ice up. They don't show none of that. They don't show the scene where they're recording it and stuff, which I find that really strange. I mean, there is a scene when you watch the original one, they blow. I mean, I suppose in a way that could be blowing up the entrance to get to the ship, I suppose, because I thought they actually used to blow the to make to reveal the ship when they blew the area up. But I suppose you find a way around that by saying that. Because I watched it again today, and I'm like, that's a bit annoying, that is, when they actually didn't show that scene. So anyway, I really enjoyed it though. It's got some creepy moments. And the fact that when they do find the alien, I'm like, just leave it there. When you see that alien in that ice, you're thinking, so you know exactly what that is. You know exactly what that is. The thing doesn't look friendly, that's for sure. All I can see is this creepy ass thing in this ice. And they decide to take a DNA from its body. And you think to yourself, that is a bad idea. I like the fact that they recreate the scene, the area, the place itself, where the alien come out of the ice and stuff. And so anyway, they're taking DNA from the alien, of course, and the thing breaks out. It starts to melt and stuff, the ice from there. And that scene was... The film does make you jump though, when honestly God, the film does make you jump when the thing jumps out of its ice, and then the thing grabs that guy and then freaking tries to eat him and stuff and tries to replicate him or so. The thing about another clever thing about these aliens, I think this is quite clever. That is the film where they actually do it where the thing can't replicate fillings and stuff. So that when it does another copy, a replica of a human, copies another human, they actually don't have the fillings and stuff, which is clever, which makes a lot of sense. it can't replicate clothes and it can't replicate anything else apart from skin and stuff, heart, you know, everything else it can replicate. And that's what makes this thing terrifying, because it's just like, who the hell do you trust in the mover? And there's a scene in the film where they got the alien in the bloody room, right, dead. I mean, I wouldn't want to sit in the same room as that thing. Back's turned against it. I'm thinking to myself, no, I'll never ever sit in a room with an alien that looks that ugly. Hell no. That thing's evil. This thing's not freaking like E.T. This thing's evil. You know, it could replicate. It could just grab all of it and just, you know, digest you and create, you know, completely just eat you, whatever, and replicate you. You know, that's quite terrifying. That thing engulfing, you know, that thing digesting you. I mean, hell no. So anyway, so the thing is, character Kate, she has this clever plan to do the blood thing, but one of the characters, someone in the group, in the Norwegian camp, destroys the test stuff and the alien, and of course you think yourself, someone in that camp is definitely the alien, because she has this clever plan to, you know, whoever hasn't got fillings can go up one side. Who's got fillings is fine, but who hasn't got fillings goes at once, goes into their own like group. And then you think yourself, one of those people is definitely the alien. And the ones that the only ones you can trust are the ones with fillings or whatever, or an earring. And one of the characters who's on Star Wars, who plays Owen, he actually plays one. He kind of reminds me of Kurt Russell a little bit. And he has this earring. Of course, there's a bit of a twist at the end when he doesn't have it. And I think that's quite clever the way they did that. Some of the visual effects are good though, especially the part where one of the characters gets injured, then his arm comes off and it starts on the. It's got some creepy ass moments. This film's still got some creepy ass moments, especially when the guy freaking who gets injured. One part, guy gets like stabbed by the alien, right? And the thing stands up like that, just goes like that, and starts to freaking attach himself to the guy and starts to become. It's just freaky. The film has got some creepy, and he has it really tough either. I'm just cheating. That is a horrible way to freaking die. It's by getting attached to that alien, literally. It's got some good action scenes too. I like the explosions. Like, you know, one character who gets injured, right? You don't expect him to be, you know, a certain, you know, life. You don't expect him to be the alien. He gets like blown up and then he's injured and stuff, and they think, oh, just pick him up, you know, it turns out to be a bloody alien. So the film's got some quite intense moments in it, you know, like, I think the film's more effective when it's darker, when the lights go out and stuff. I think it's way more effective. When it's too bright, it's like, I don't know, it doesn't quite have that same kind, but it's still got some creepy moments, so yeah. I think the performances in this film are very good. I do think they are really good. I think it's a film that some people don't appreciate. I appreciate it, I liked it. Like I said, there should have been a scene where the people are recording the alien ship and everything. They should have shown that scene, but they never. And maybe because they didn't have time to do it, because they was rushing it, or they forgot. I don't know. But yeah, I like the fact that they end up going back to the ship, of course, and I like the fact you actually see more of the ship at the end. You actually see more of the ship, and I think it's great looking ship. I like the way, in fact, you can see inside it, and it's, you know, it's pretty cool. And that last part is pretty intense, where both of the characters end up going to the ship, chasing after one of the other characters who's been like, who's the alien now, and of course, you see him like later on, and he tries to attack the woman, of course, and then she blows him up, and then Finger's character turns up, doesn't use a flamethrower. You think to yourself, I suppose in a way that's a telltale sign. I don't know. It's like, I mean, it could have just like, you know, because she's, you know, so what if she did like threw that thing in his mouth, so he had to blow him up. So she thinks, you know, but there's a slight bit of twist. So you can think to yourself, huh, that's interesting. So it's kind of like, and I like the fact it leads up, and that scene was pretty good. I like the way they did that scene, because you think to yourself, you know, that thing could have just dropped out his ear. That thing could have just dropped out his ear when he was getting chased by the alien. I mean, it's possible the thing could have just dropped out, but she like kind of went, you're not human, full stop. And she says that, the only way I know you wasn't human because you're earring. And of course, The scene was kind of screwed up actually, kind of thing. That's fucked up. So it must have got him while I was in the ship. Because you expect certain characters to survive in this film, but yeah, sometimes it doesn't work out that way. And I like the fact the last part leads up to the first part of the movie. I do like the way they did that. The music, doom 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 doom. At the beginning of the film, they did the same thing. The doom doom doom. And the last part they did the same thing. I just loved that part. I thought actually that last part was really well done. It's just a shame they never thought they showed that scene with the film and the ship and stuff. And I think that was a bit of a shame. But like I said, there's a way around that bit, because the part where they did the record, they could have filmed that any time in the movie without you seeing it. So whatever. So yeah, I liked it there. I thought okay, what I didn't like about it, I didn't like the fact they didn't show that certain scenes like they did in the original one. They should have kept the certain practical effects. Some of the effects look a bit dodgy, of course. They could have kept. They were going to do practical effects, they didn't, which I think it's a damn shame, because I think the film would have been a lot better. But I don't know if it would. I don't know. So yeah, what I liked about it, I thought the films were good. Some of the effects were still good. I thought it did have some quite intense moments in it. You think, oh shit. Especially the guy that starts getting chased by the alien and is trying to hide from it and stuff, and Jesus Christ. Film's good. I like the woman in it who plays I think she's the main character, and she's beautiful looking, by the way. She's on Die Hard 4. I think she's great. She's a good actress. Not bad looking either. So yeah, I think they did a good job with the Who Do You Trust, because even I was like, aha. And like I said, I'm paranoid. I wouldn't want to sit with anyone. And the performance is good, like I said. The music's great. Definitely a great tribute to that original movie. So yeah, the rating I'm giving this film is a 4 out of 5. I liked it though. It's a shame that it didn't do that well. It did that well, but you know what, I liked it. So 4 out of 5 for The Thing 2011. So I know people, this is my review of both things. I love the first one more, but the second one I think is a good prequel. So I know people will go off now. Remember to subscribe to my channel. Have a nice day, have a nice week. Take care of yourself and enjoy the video. Both of them. Thank you very much.